Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Good. That's coming over through. Okay, guys. Switching to our game 2. After having a sneak peek at Khan versus Corey, we've got our players. Welcome, Crazy Vulcan. Welcome back.
Oh, great to be back here. Good morning, everybody.
Good evening, morning where you are. Evening for us. Yeah.
International. The fact that X-Wings become international just fills my heart with such joy and a bit of sleep.
I don't know. I can tell you Thursday's been a good day, so that should hopefully look out for you. You should have a good day.
Excellent.
And we have a local player, which is good evening. Welcome, Luke.
Cheers, Nobby. Good to be here again.
Excellent. Yeah, we've had you on before. We haven't had you two play each other. You guys are playing at the Pod 4, Stage 2 of the Singapore League.
Yep.
And we're resistance. See, this is why I'm commentating. Resistance versus FO. Tonight we have Raymond. Welcome back, Raymond.
Hi, Nobby. Hi, everyone.
And Mark, I think he's just finished with the overlay. Welcome back, Mark. You good to go?
Good to go. Thanks, Nobby.
All right. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. Just let me know. I'll listen in, and when you want me to drag the plays over to the other chart, I'll do so. But it's all you guys.
Wonderful. So, hello, everyone, and welcome to the second game for tonight. Crazy Vulcan and Luke, anything you want to say before you get going on this, or?
No, I've just been really happy with my list has performed in the first round, as I decided to keep it for the second, so we'll see how well this continues going.
And Luke?
So this is a hyperspace list.
Vulcans is, I think. Yeah. No, nothing in particular. Just I haven't put this on the board before, so don't laugh too hard when I put everything on rocks.
All right, fair enough. And we do have rocks today, which is good to see. Okay, Raymond, what's your thoughts on this? We've got a bit of a classic. We've got our First Order versus the Resistance. How are you feeling about this match?
To be honest, I think it's. I really don't know who's gonna win. It seems like it's the battle of the two dicers.
Now, I don't know, Raymond. I can't hear you, but can everyone else hear Raymond?
Yeah, man, I can hear him. Raymond, can you just jump out and jump back in again?
Okay.
All right, I've just moved the players over to the other room. Did you want them back in?
No.
Sorry, I thought you moved.
Yep, all good. All
good.
good.
All good. Okay. Come back in, Raymond. Can you hear us? Sound test.
Mic test.
I can hear you, Nobby. I can't hear Raymond.
Hello.
I can hear him. The bot's hearing him. Okay, Mark, you jump out and jump back in again.
Roger.
Sorry, guys. Sometimes this is Discord. Testing 1 2.
I can hear you, Nobby.
Testing, Mark.
I got this time, Raymond. Thank you.
All good. I'll shut up again. Okay.
Okay. Now,
where are we?
Yeah, I think I was asking you First Order versus Resistance. How are you feeling about this?
Well, I have to say I'm really divided between these two lists. It's like the battle of the two dicers. Like all of them are mostly fighting each other. Whoever clear line which one of them is really doing the most damage. Maybe the SFs for the FOs, and maybe the one X-wing. The two X-wings on Luke's list. So it's a toss-up for me. How about you?
Well, I'm very interested by Finn in the Resistance transport pod. And the reason is we had a game of Aces High the other day, and we saw the Finn character in that game. He was very hard to kill, and he was putting out a surprising amount of damage because at low PS, he can just take the strain token. He doesn't have to worry about being shot back. He shoots then with 2 dice plus a focus. He has the focus from Perceptive Copilot, and he ends up being a 3 attack die ship at a very reasonable efficiency level. So I'm very interested in Finn and how he flies in this game.
And in defense of the First Order fleet here, most of their ships are already effective in terms of cost value and what you get. So Yeah, that's why and with advanced optics placed on them, it's like you're guaranteeing at least 2 hits per dice roll.
Yeah, again, an incredibly efficient list and very high consistency. One danger we always see with X-Wing, one challenge that players always have to deal with, is managing variance. Something like advanced optics means that unless you roll blank focus or blank blank, you are going to be getting 2 hits per turn, and the chance of those 2 results. For other people, other people assure me that it's quite rare to roll double blanks. I personally have found it to be a fairly common occurrence, but we shall see. We shall see.
Well, I think the resistance would disagree with you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be always taking heroic.
Yes, exactly. So, do we want to maybe run through the lists? Do you want to take the resistance and talk us through it?
Okay. So for our resistance list, we have leading the pack is Jessica Pava. She's naked right now without her trusty droid, which kind of scares me a bit, but okay. Then she's accompanied with a Red Squadron expert who has a new droid that we don't see that often, R6D8. So R6D8 is kind of interesting because he's like a tactical relay for resistance, wherein if enemy ships are in the bullseye, they get the ability to re-roll dice.
Very nice.
Like it's a separatist ability, you know, but yeah, it's kind of cool. We have here the favorites from Resistance, Finn and Rose, both carrying Rose carrying marksmanship, and Finn carrying his standard heroic and perceptive co-pilot. Make them extra more efficient than they already are. And then last one is one of the newer ships that came from the Heralds of Hope pack, Carbon. Looks like Merle's gonna go for a blocker role because he has intimidation on him. So yeah, he's looking to block someone and get those minus dice.
Yep. A very nice roll, and very good to have that PS1 chip just able to go in there, annoy everyone else, debuff the enemy, and make life difficult for them. So on the other side, we have 4 Zeta Squadron pilots. These are TIE FOs. They're naked, only 2 attack dice out the front, but they do have advanced optics like we were talking about just previously. And there are 4 of them, and they're high agility, so they will be difficult to kill. On the other side, the other 2 ships, the squad is rounded out by 2 TIE SFs. They are also only 2 attack dice ships here. We don't have the SF gunner. So it's going to make them a little bit less damaging, but we do also have here the concussion missiles and passive sensors, which means that they can get that lock and they can then fire their concussion missiles, which is a 3 attack die shot. And that's going to be particularly effective because of the bonus attack, especially if Luke is flying his resistance squad together like it looks like he will be.
But the concussion missile is the flip up one, right?
Have I got that confused with cluster missile?
Yeah,
I have.
thinking,
Okay.
So,
I apologize.
okay,
Yeah.
But yeah, X-wings and transport pods aren't really known to be very evasive, so I think there's a high chance that the concussion missile will be effective in this game.
Yeah, and I think he'll just want to make sure some damage cards get put onto the ships first, so that they do become effective later on in the game. So maybe you won't see that as your alpha strike, but later on, like chip, get some damage through, and then we'll see the concussion missiles coming out.
Looks like we're already a minute into the game, and they started moving. Ask you what you thought of their setup, but approach from Crazy Vulcan here. Is he actually moving towards the A-wing instead?
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting approach. It looks like he may be trying to force the slower resistance ships to move through the rocks. He's actually banking towards the top of the screen for our viewers. And it could be he's just trying to get Luke to fly through this rock garden, break up that formation a bit, try and make life a bit more difficult for him so that he can't focus fire on one of the TIE foes. But he doesn't seem to have committed one way or the other yet, which is not a bad thing. It gives him options later on, and he can still move them wherever he likes. One other really interesting thing about Crazy Vulcan's list is that he's got PS2 ships all across the board. So he basically can choose the order of activation very comfortably, and that will give him the ability to avoid banging and putting ships, wherever he wants to. Whereas when you've got multiple PS ships, you have to be a little bit more careful about how you move so that you don't inadvertently block your aces coming up behind you. We don't have many aces, but apparently in this game, Jess at PS3 is going to be an ace. Jess and Rose are aces, and Red Squadron Expert actually.
I don't know if you've noticed, but Crazy Vulcan's actually activated target locks on all his ships onto the rock.
Yeah, I saw him doing that. I wasn't entirely sure what the strategic benefit of target locking a rock would be just at this point in time. But I suspected he was just trying to get a sense of range and needed to take a lock as a result. So be it.
Yeah, that's right.
What about your thoughts? Like, how do you feel about this setup? You see, Crazy Vulcan spread out his list a little bit. He's got the TIE SFs at the top. He's got his FOs sort of in the center, looking to either disengage or engage downwards onto the resistance. And you've got Luke in the bottom left-hand corner. What are you thinking? What's the setup? What do you imagine engagement is going to look like?
Well, when I was looking at Crazy Vulcan's list and the way it's set up, so it's pretty even placement for all in packs of 2, right? But the FOs were on the right side, so you were kind of expecting that would be your strong side. They would sort of like fold into the lower half of the board.
Yeah, I agree. I was
the other way.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised to see the 2 Zeta Squadron survivors moving to the. Ooh, that is a gutsy 5 straight. I was quite surprised to see the Zeta Squadron survivors moving to the top. The top of the board, especially given that their arcs are currently facing. Oh no, but they've got front arc anyway, right? So yeah, that won't be a problem. Sorry, I was going to say it's a problem if their front arcs are facing to the arcs are facing to the back. But then I remembered these are not A-wings. They can fire both forward and backwards at the same time. So it looks like he may be looking to engage the A-wing, which is a very interesting first target, and the Merle has gone very much quickly into this area. Has done a 2 bank left to end up in this box that between the 4 rocks that has been set up. So interesting. We also have one small TIE FO down in the bottom right hand corner, bravely facing down 2 X-wings, 2 transport pods. So interesting setup here.
Chris, if I'm Crazy Vulcan, I must be thinking that, okay, I'll trade Merle for one of my FOs. I think it's still, cheaper. Mine is still cheaper than yours in this situation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you can get Merle off the board, it'd be a very happy trade. But 2 attack dice into 3 defense dice with an evade, even if it's multiple shots, a lot of them are going to be at range 3. So it's not guaranteed that you'll even put damage through, let alone kill him.
But actually, but still, it's basically a war of attrition and rolling dice here. Eventually, he will get some damage through, and even you need 4 to kill him. So I think the odds are pretty good because the SFs do have passive sensors, and they might be shooting last to activate concussion missiles on him.
So this will be nice. We've got two looks like 2 shots at range 3 from the TIE FOs first. Of course, the players know they have to roll in the box. So 2 attack dice, and with advanced optics, that's 2 hits. We love the consistency there. And 2 natural evades, so no damage from the first attack. Again, this is what we.
Out on stream. Dice not coming out on stream.
Okay.
Stream messaging. I'll be here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I can see the dice.
Now there.
All good.
Okay, so yep, looks like statistically correct as of now. No dice yet.
Yeah. So yeah, now we have the target locks and the one at the back just out. So he will join his friends in target locking a rock. A bit unfortunate. Looks like
but
this guy.
I'm worried about the arc.
No, she'll be right. Oh, maybe not. Oh, should be okay, I think. She'll be right. Here we go. Oh, and rotating the turret, was that necessary? What's the advantage of doing that?
I think he
Shoot the
he
car.
just forgot to set it to the floor.
No, it's
just in case, because sorry, Marky, how you're not familiar with maybe the new card, passive sensors allows you to take a target lock.
Yep.
And then the SS can link that or rotate off that action when they perform the target lock.
Yep. And they need
nice
to rotate because of the heavy weapons turret. So if he didn't rotate, it would be left in the rear.
That's correct, yeah.
Yep. There we go. 1 damage chips through. So 1 damage on Merle. Oh, 2 damage, sorry. He already spent the evade, is it? Yep. So 2 damage through onto Merle.
Spend the target lock?
They don't have to spend the target lock, but he spent it to reroll. He rolled blank hit first. And so change that back into hit.
That he already has half points on Merle then.
Yep. And he returns fire, and because there was no defense mods, the Zeta Squadron survivor, the pink one, takes 1 shield. So, opening engagement, opening setup, you'd have to say advantage to Crazy Vulcan at the moment. Half points on Merle. Pretty good outcome to get 2 damage through onto 4 defense dice for most shots. Had 3 shots at him only, so I'd say that's a pretty welcome start. But now that you've got Merle in the middle of everything, how do you feel about that? Like, what do you reckon? In regards to this turn.
It's Merle's time to shine. His goal is supposedly to block people and get them intimidated. So he's actually in the best position to do that right now. If he makes like a 3 bank to the left or 2 bank to the left, I think he could get multiple ships to hit him.
Do you think that Crazy Vulcan's going to slow down and try and engage the main bulk, or do you think he's going to try and blow past and then come around behind them?
That's a good question. I think Crazy Vulcan, actually, the reason why Zeta Squadron pilot here in the bottom is there is that I think he is in a prime position to block them, stop them from turning left.
Yeah. So
if
he
he's
can
able to do that, then I would focus on Merle again. But if not, then pot shots on whoever's in front of the pack.
Yeah, I think the other thing that could happen is with the heavy weapons turret on the Zeta Squadron survivors, they can actually fire the missiles backwards. So you could very well see these 2 TIE SFs at the top of the screen turn out, rotate their turrets behind, or turn out passive sensors, then later on take a lock on Merle, rotate turrets behind, and fire their rockets at him. Okay, interesting. So he's come... Merle has gone forward and right here, taking evade, clearly looking to try and get the blocks.
He's expecting he's expecting Crazy Vulcan to go after the main force.
Yep, certainly looks that way.
Up Merle for that. Okay, so yeah, Finn's okay. I was wrong there. Finn goes first. Oh, and
Makes it.
looks like there was a reason he let Brown go first. He knew yellow was gonna hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that the green move is interesting.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he's thinking there.
Thinking maybe he was thinking that the pack was going to go forward and attack the TIE fighter.
Yeah, look to
Just trying to
disengage.
get out of the way.
Yeah. So I mean, okay. So the TIE SF comes in. I will probably take passive sensors, I imagine. No, just taking focus.
He loses. He spent his lock. That's interesting indeed.
You had to spend a lock on Merle that one.
So is Merle's turret facing backwards?
Merle's turret is still facing forwards. He didn't want to stress himself this turn, I think.
Okay, so interesting. Okay, so they are slowly turning in to face the ties. They'll be able to get shots on maybe the brown and yellow tie FOs.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
This
Is
is
target lock or no? They're engaging already.
Yep, looks like. So Rico is got, sorry, not Rico, Rose. Rose's ability, she's a 2 attack dice ship, but while you defend or perform an attack, you may reroll one of your results for each other friendly ship in Arc. So the flying here is a very nice setup. We've got 4 other friendly ships in Arc, so she can reroll anything. It is a range 3 shot on the bumped yellow, though. So one of the dice fell outside the box. That will need to be rerolled. And just one hit, but she can re-roll the blank into a focus and spends focus. So 2 hits. Now she has marksmanship on her as well. That's where the critters come in. And the one, yellow had no token.
Go through.
And the crit goes through. And what crit is that? That crit is weapons failure. So when you perform an attack, roll 1 fewer attack dice, and that's on yellow. So a good start for the resistance. This is the Red Squadron Expert. Very nice native roll. Crit, focus, and 2 evades in response. So same target, crit, console fire.
The dice have not been kind, crazy Vulcan so far.
Yep. But this is what happens when you've got an unmodified ship, or a ship without defense mods on the board. It's a very easy target. So this ship could actually end up killing itself. It will have to roll 1 attack dice before it engages. And I think the correct call here would be to try and PS kill it. 1 fewer ships shooting this turn is probably a good thing. Your thoughts, Raymond? Do you kill off yellow, or do you try and strip a token off red, pink, or is that brown? Yeah.
Oh, definitely kill off ship when you can. That's all right. That's You're protecting Merle as well from being killed.
So Jess has actually taken a shot at a pink Zeta Squadron survivor, hit crit, and a very terrible defensive roll. Brings up blank focus, and it looks like the crit may go through here. Yep, he's chosen not to spend the focus. Oh, he does have a focus token. Yep, is going to spend the focus. So pink loses 2 shields. Shields down half points on pink.
That was an interesting move, trying to divide fire. I guess he was trying to get Pink to spend his focus. Oh no, he's going in all in on Pink now. He's really relying on the console fire to take out Yellow.
Mm-hmm. So this is where Finn can shine. Finn there just added a focus result and spent one of his 2 focus tokens to turn it.
Did that?
Yeah,
Did,
that was on Pink, was
did
it?
all 3 go through?
I think 2 went through. There was 1 natural evade.
Okay.
So Pink is now on only 1 hull.
Oof.
Okay. And so Mill is not going to activate yet. We're
Time
at 2. So for console fire, Crazy Vulcan rolled the dice and he rolled a crit. And 2 natural hits from expecting the damage Zeta, and Merle, I think, evades. Oh no, it can't have been Merle who was the target because he rolled 2.
For the console fire, he rolled 2 because he has weapon failure. He has weapons failure.
Of course, yes, sorry. Okay, 3 natural hits now, and Merle takes 1, and I imagine is going to spend the evade token. Yep, and takes no damage. So Merle has just survived 2 range 1 shots, and only has 1 more shot left to survive. So this time the Thai SF has spent its focus, so that will just be 1 hit into Merle, and Merle comfortably evades. So very hot defense dice that round.
Crazy Vulcan must be feeling pretty bad right now.
Yeah, I
Needs
mean,
to take out Merle on his turn.
Yeah, he's set up very much to try and do some serious damage to Merle, and that damage just has not eventuated. So a bit unfortunate there. He gets a free shot on Jess. So Jess has spent her charge, so she can't re-roll on defense, but she will have, it's 2 onto 3, and Jess takes 1 by the look of it. Yep, so 1 shield down for Jess.
Range.
And
Plus,
is Merle going to shoot? Merle is going to shoot. Yeah. One hit.
1 hit. Let's see if the pipe.
And there are all the evades he's been waiting for. I think he would have liked to spread those out a little bit more. But that's the way the dice go. You can have a consistently average luck, but the variance, you roll hot when the other guy rolls badly, and you roll badly when the other guy rolls hot. And that's what can kill you. And that's where X-Wing can become a really frustrating game at times. So how are you feeling, Raymond? What do you reckon about how things are going now?
Luke definitely seems to have the upper hand as of this moment because he has fighters just waiting to blow up next turn. 1 not even by his own hand if he gets lucky. So,
yeah.
I think if I were Luke, I'd just be doing the rebel way and just 1 forwarding to victory, taking out as many TIE fighters as I can because because Crazy Vulcan looks like he needs to be repositioning now in this state.
Yeah, I will say I like the positioning of Crazy Vulcan a little bit better in that he has the option of going past and getting behind. And again, all of his ships can do that. So the red TIE FO can just either K-turn or just 5 straight and get behind. Then your pink can disengage while Ark's still facing behind. Your blue can either soft engage or can disengage with the Ark facing behind. Your other TIE FOs, there's some safe space on the left-hand side between the rocks. So most of your list can disengage and get away from the kill zone that's been set up. You shouldn't have too many more ships taking 3 or 4 shots. That said, that does mean, as you pointed out, it'll be 1 turn of not shooting or having suboptimal shots. So it's a trade-off to make, but you can then get the bulk of your force behind or disengaging from the bulk of Luke's force.
So, a question for you, Mark, is that if Merle disengages, do you want to try to chase after him, or do you commit a ship to try to kill off Merle?
I mean, Merle is irritating, but is not really the damage dealer in the list. And I think the easiest target to kill in the squad, even with Merle on half points, is probably your Red Squadron expert. And that's probably the one that's going to deal out a fair amount of damage as well. So I would, if I could shoot any one ship, I'd be trying to shoot the Red Squadron expert. That said, this turn, if I'm Crazy Vulcan, I would play for position and just see, take any shots of opportunity. Then in the future, look at trying to engage behind whatever's behind, get my ships in behind where they can't, where the resistance squad can't K-turn because of the rock garden, or they can't stick together, which gives, debuffs Rose and Jess. And then just trying to get behind them and chip away with my 2 attack dice shots.
Looks like we started, and Merle is staying in the fight. Is this a staying in the fight position?
It's blocking the green Zeta to an extent. So the green Zeta, if it's tried to hard one back into the fight, will now be blocked and will be very vulnerable. Especially if it gets blocked by Merle with Intimidation.
Intimidation and this ability also. Yeah. So
Merle's ability is fantastic. So I don't know. I think most people should be familiar with it by now. So I'll just quickly put it up on stream. But it does mean that if you are in the bullseye arc, whatever is facing you has debuffs on defense. So it's quite useful as a blocker, especially if you're going to be getting other ships to run straight into you. So I'd feel a bit worried if I was green right now. I am not in a very happy position. Okay, so the TIE SF is coming charging up the middle here. Really wants to engage. He's only got 1 health left as well, I think.
Using violence all the way.
Yep, I think.
Barrel roll. Positioning. Okay.
That does mean he's not going to have the attack mods. Oh, interesting. So he's gone over the rock with red.
But that was an interesting move.
Yep, it's not in position to expect. Oh, the gravity simulator thought about making that a crit and then decided on a focus. So no other detriment apart from no actions this turn.
Actually, I love this block.
Yeah, very good block. So again, it was the attempt to turn the 1 hard, and now he's got Merle and Bullseye, and he's got Intimidation. So that native 3 attack defense dice has just turned into 1 defense dice. Zeta Squadron 4 has also banged into Finn. So again, denied actions, and Zeta Squadron 2 has S-looped. So not many actions and not many defense mods there. We do have Zeta Squadron Survivor coming in, taking target lock on Finn. Finn is not an ideal target because he will be able to take a deplete and then get a free focus. And with that Perceptive Copilot, he will have extra focus tokens. So he's remarkably durable.
Deplete or strain?
I think you can choose, right? Oh, no, you have to take strain.
Need a strain.
You're right. Sorry.
Yeah, although Finn is not my first choice either. Like I said, I think I would also go for one of the X-Wings instead, especially since you did take all this time to set up like this block on Jess or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that block on Jess because she doesn't mind losing actions as much as some other pilots would. The native reroll that she has is actually quite powerful. And by setting up the block there, she actually gets to shoot the pink Zeta Squadron Survivor, which is probably the one she wants to take off because he still has he still has rockets yet to be fired. Okay, so Rose is going to take the opening shot on Zeta Squadron Survivor. Rose has 4 friendly ships in arc, so has rerolls for whatever she needs. Okay, just 1 crit going through. Only 2 defense dice, no mods, and there we go. Yep, that crit goes through. And Crazy Vulcan's dice have not been friendly to him today. That crit is Blinded Pilot as well. So 1 ship off the board. Very unfortunate there for him.
Yes.
But that ship was low health. I feel he should have disengaged with that one and just turned the turret behind.
Shoot yellow now. He's also damaged one.
Shooting yellow? He's shooting yellow. So he has a focus. Yep. Spends it. Yellow takes
Yellow's
2.
on the board.
Yep. So violence already in this first 2 shots. We've seen some cleanup from round 1. Jess now has a chance to shoot. So again, she does have rerolls to reroll up to, it looks like 3 of her dice. So that's really what she'll want if she needs it.
Wow.
Yep. Who's her target though?
Going
Even
green since,
range 3 through a rock.
Finn's
Yeah.
gonna shoot him.
Range 3 through a rock. He's still only rolling 3 dice. That's pretty good. Or she can roll 3 at blue. Finn will also have a shot at blue, so it's really which do you want?
It's at blue.
Yep. So
Reroll.
spends it, rerolls
She's
the
got
focus into a blank. So unfortunate there, but hit crit. And 2 native evades. So blue shrugs that one off. Finn, so we're now into PS2. We'll also shoot at blue. It was obstructed onto the blocked Zeta. So, okay, he will add
Kind of sad though because you spent that and it's like no, you still don't want to use it.
Ooh. Okay, and Finn, again, this is where Finn is surprisingly efficient. He's actually a 3 attack dice ship most of the time. So he's just taken shields down on the surviving Zeta Squadron Survivor. There was a blank out on defense. So, yeah, a bit nasty there.
Going after.
Yeah, red squadron. Oh, nice throw. Yep. Hit, crit. Native. And 1 is blocked. So red squadron survivor takes 2 onto shields. Red squadron expert, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd hold on to those dice. Those dice are good dice.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you can shoot. So Brown now shooting to.
Those are very good dice. Just keep rolling those dice, Crazy Vulcan. So 2 go through. So shields down and 1 into hull.
So Crazy Vulcan must be going more heavy in all game.
This is the other advantage, though, where PS can be quite powerful. He's lost 2 shots. So this looks like a... who was that lock on?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
So spends a charge, gets nothing out of it. And that, again, the variance is going to hurt there. So the surviving Zeta Squadron survivor has spent 1 of his cluster missiles.
What?
Oh. Did Merle rotate arc? I missed that, sorry. But no consequence there. Well, violence. Raymond, lessons learned from this engagement. Don't joust
Don't
T70s.
joust us. Don't joust with a. Don't joust with a single hull ship. I guess. Yeah, I think that's the main one.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So Crazy Vulcan has managed to take half points on Merle and Red Squadron Expert. So that leaves him at 43. But Luke has scored 90 points by deleting 2 ships and half points on the remaining Zeta Squadron Survivor. So a 47-point difference there. Difficult at this point, you'd have to say. What's your strategy if you're
Yes.
Crazy Vulcan?
Well, right now looks like you just have to get into it. I mean, keep on pressing. Right now, if you look at the position of the X-wings, gonna have to split now because we know that the pods can't really do Peyton, and the T70s want to turn, so there might be some separation of the ships. So it's really which one do you want to go for? Do you want to try to out up the Red Squad Expert and Jess or the pods? It's really a step 2 now.
Mm. I think it's the pods are surprisingly. Pardon me?
For the X-wings, if you ask me, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
The pods are going to be surprisingly difficult to take out. With can Rose, I believe, can use her ability on defense as well. So that will make her difficult to kill. She'll be a little bit like Boba Fett, always re-rolls his blanks into evades. And then Finn, we know, has the 2 focus tokens on defense. So if he gets a roll that he doesn't like, he can just add a focus result and spend a focus token to get rid of 1 more damage. So they're surprisingly difficult to kill. I know they're only 2 agility, but 2 agility and 4 health in total, but they are surprisingly difficult to kill. And that was one of the big takeaways I had from watching the Aces High game. We had one player bring Finn, a 50-point Finn build, and it was really hard to kill. And that one actually ended up winning Aces High, even when there was, Sarisu and some other named pilots on the board.
Definitely Finn is Resistance favorite just because of his ability, and I think it's not impossible to kill him, but it just you just really it's not worth the price. I think that you spend. Dedicate. You need at least 3 shots to take him down, and if you're lucky,
yeah, exactly.
just go
And
for
he
the short shot.
Yeah, and he has he's only worth 38 points. He's less than one of the TIE SFs, which come in at 40. So in terms of efficiency, to get those 3 attack dice or 3, 2 attack dice plus a focus result, and to get that so consistently is quite a frustrating thing to try and fly against. Okay, so we've seen some movement. Merle is now just disengaging out, but remaining near to the fight with her turret face to the back. So we see the green TIE FO coming back in. The blue TIE SF attempts to disengage, but ends up banging into the green TIE FO. So that's a little bit unfortunate and makes him quite vulnerable this turn. The red TIE FO has done a K-turn behind the enemy ship, and the brown one is just going to proceed forward and bump, trying to play the role of a blocker if he can.
Oh yeah, I was that actually surprised me a bit because he knew where green was, and did he knew where the green was. Maybe he should have barreled green first before moving, but
yeah, I
or maybe,
personally would have hoped to move blue the other direction, and just have him disengage to the left, back towards Luke's side of the board. But maybe I don't know. If it was me, I would have wanted to do that and then keyed in the wrong direction and banged my own ship. So go figure, right?
so I guess maybe No, because we can see like the red squad moving to the left instead. So he was maybe he had the foresight to know that Luke's ships were going to the left, so he wanted to go the other way.
Yeah, I mean, could bluff and double bluff, isn't it? So it could be a genius move. It looks like the Red Squadron must have flipped his S-foils to be able to do a barrel roll. They don't have a native barrel roll, the T-70s.
Okay, so it looks like Vulcan called that most of the ships, of course, are moving away from the direction of the Survivor. So I guess that's what he was expecting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I think they must have just bumped. He must have bumped Rose before moving Jessica there, or moving the red. So just to keep Rose out of arc of the red Zeta pilot. So Rose still has 2 ships in her arc, 2 friendly ships in arc, and will take a range 3 shot on the bumped TIE SF. Hit crit, which is very nice, and because it's in bullseye, that turns into double crits. Of course, the TIE SF has shields down, and we see blanks again from Crazy Vulcan. So he will be taking 2 crits. The first crit is fuel leak.
It's a fuel leak.
And that's unfortunate.
Goodbye.
That's it, yeah. So he takes 1 more damage, takes a crit. Yeah, and that's it. So a really lucky shot there from Rose. So that was fuel leak into damage sensor array. And did we know what the final crit was?
No, there's only 2 crits. The other one was the fuel leak damage.
Oh, yes.
Damage.
Of course, sorry. Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
So it looks like Finn doing damage on 2 green. Ooh.
Yep, takes the strain. 4 hits, 2 evades. So green is also half points now. This is like that scene in The Force Awakens where the Resistance is just going through and blowing TIE FOs out of the sky. Okay, so some chance for revenge for the First Order to strike back. And an excellent throw against Finn, who is strained. He took a strain that turn. Rolls a blank. Will add a focus. Because... How did he re-roll that?
He added a blank from his ability. He adds a blank.
And then he has
triggers
2.
heroic.
Oh, that is disgusting. So the crit goes through, and it is a fuel leak on Finn.
That could matter.
Yep. Finn now becomes a very tempting target. Two hits. Nice. That's enough. He has to roll a native evade. He gets 1 native evade. So it takes 1 more damage. So Finn on 1 health now, but no more shots on him. Okay, range 1 into Rose.
Rose has 2 ships in her arc. So no friendly ships in the arc, so Rose can't reroll. It was evaded, sadly.
In the attack arc, yes, of course. Merle does have a shot out the back, range 2, just on the green TIE FO. No advanced optics on Merle. Doesn't matter. It does matter. Zeta rolls terribly, but has a focus token to avoid any damage there.
So, what do you think of that engagement?
I think good to call the direction, but it didn't matter in the end because by bumping and no tokens then on the TIE SF on defense, he did get picked off by Rose with a very unlucky crit. So yeah, I mean, just need to have those tokens. It was two crits was what Rose rolled. On defense, there were 2 focus results. If he had a focus token, that would have been no damage, and it would have been a very different board. this round. So yeah, moral of the story: make sure you have your focus tokens on defense.
Who's shooting still? Oh wait, no one's
No,
shooting. Okay,
the
so
setting
back to dials.
Yeah, back to dials. The setting dials already. In terms of positioning, Jess, I think not in a fantastic position. Can't K-turn, but can maybe hard right to try and get some lucky shots. Or do the T70s have the Talon? Yeah, the Talon might be the
they
way
do.
to go there.
3 talent.
Yeah.
Where Finn will go because
Yeah. Finn, very limited. He has got a 3K, but he can't use it right now. His hard 1 is red. He could do hard 2 and
I think Finn should just go for a disengage right now. I mean, Luke's in the lead. He's not under any pressure to chase down ships right now. He's more pressure to keep him alive.
Yeah, that's true. And on 1 hit point, you'd want to try and avoid being shot at all if possible. The Zetas do have a fairly large number of blue maneuvers. Do you think a hard 2 from the red Zeta would fit next to the toothpick?
I don't think so.
Yeah. It's always a hard one. That toothpick rock is always a little bit bigger than you think. Yeah. Hard 1 will make it if it's red, but so I mean, disengage with Finn. Yeah. Merle, I think, will start to either K-turn or loop back around to try and get some shots later on. Tempted to loop around because you have got that focus action, the free boost, which means you can turn quite quickly, and it doesn't take you quite so far away from the fight.
So I'm thinking, I'm wondering what's going through Crazy Vulcan's mind right now. What is his key to win this game? Finn, do you go after the expert?
You've got to take something off the board really quickly. That's the only thing left. You've got 30 minutes left. It's a long time in X-Wing. If the dice decide to change, they can change quite extremely. And with a lot of defense dice, you can become basically invulnerable very quickly. But you've got to kill something. You just got to kill something. Oh no! And you can't shoot if you're on a rock. And that toothpick is always a little bit bigger than you'd anticipate, and he takes damage from doing that. So a very unfortunate maneuver there.
Definitely, it's the unforced errors that hurt more.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like is Green trying to set up a block on Jess if she does a Talon?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it could be that you end up facing exactly where Jess is, or you can block and then stress. Both are good outcomes. Rose comfortably moves through, takes a focus. Talon roll from the red.
Talon. Mm-hmm.
Again, somewhat expected there. You'd expect him to be trying to get back into this fight. Oh, wants to change the position a bit. It's fine. And then where's Jess gone?
Just going. And it's a 3 Talon.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it. Just
yeah.
Makes it, yeah.
So it takes a stress, and Green at the moment is only on half health. With a reroll, you've got 1 friendly ship at range 1. So with a reroll, you'd be tempted to try and knock him out. 4 attack dice into him. Yeah, and a second shot as well. So yeah, I think the plan is quite clear here for Luke. Delete that ship before it can shoot Jess. And very hot dice, so 2 native hits again. On defense, 2 native evades. There we go. The dice are working.
I could almost hear Crazy Vulcans breathing a sigh of relief there.
I don't know if our viewers can see this, but Crazy Vulcan is holding tightly onto those dice. I think he's decided these ones are working. Let's roll these ones again. So Red Squadron Vet, just 2 hits, so nothing, nothing much.
No, I
just
think
1
that's
hit.
just
Sorry.
one
Yep,
hit.
my bad.
Okay.
2 blanks. Does he have an ability or something? No, can't use heroic. And yes, those dice are working. So he hasn't even had to spend his focus token yet. You're very happy if you're Crazy Vulcan right now. Don't throw those dice away, Christopher. Don't throw those dice away. Jess, average roll.
Save those
hit.
dice.
Yep. Spends the token. Oh. So hit, crit, and you got to spend the token. Got to. Yep.
No,
So
even if he did. Oh wait, no wait.
hit crit. So evades 2, takes
health.
1 crit. Depending on the crit, direct hit. Oh, wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? That is so unfortunate.
It's really the cherry on top of this sundae.
Yep. This is just where you start swearing nonstop. No, it hasn't been your game. Just the right crit at the wrong time. A wrong crit at the wrong time, I should say.
The only consolation we can offer Crazy Vulcan is that it took them 3 shots to though.
Yep.
The other 2 Thai FOs have no shots.
Yep, one on a rock and the other just pointing in the wrong direction now. So far, nothing has been taken off the table from the resistance side. Maybe this turn, Finn is a little bit predictable now. Maybe this turn we can see, and he'll be moving first. So maybe this turn we'll see Red Squadron pilot get in close and finish off Finn.
I wouldn't go for Finn. I would rather go for Jess maybe, or finish off the squadron, because half of Finn, it's just, let's say, what's that, 20, less than 20 points, 19 points right now.
Yeah.
But half of the other half of that Red Squadron pilot is 24, 25.
Yeah. But you got to get it. So
yeah,
you've only got 2 ships. They're very vulnerable. You're moving into the kill zone. Yeah, I'd be a bit nervous. And you've got Merle re-engaging now too.
But in terms of threat level, Finn isn't right now, though.
Yeah. It's just, what can you kill would be my question. But yeah, I take your point that, again, Finn is also not the most killable ship of all time either.
Okay, they're starting.
Hard 2 from Merle to clear stress. Merle now facing the rock, so I suspect we'll see a barrel roll. Yes, indeed.
Yep.
And no value. You could link that into a boost, but I think stay there. You're a slightly better position for next turn. Finn, hard 2, double focus, no surprises. He just wants to stay alive and deny the half points on that.
Here's what we're waiting for.
Indeed. Hard 1. Yep. What you're talking about. Going for the red squadron expert.
Actually, I don't hate this move because you potentially block Jess as well. So
yep.
That's at least a -1 shot.
The hard 3 makes it around the rock, but it does. Oh, Jess makes it and clears stress, but we'll have no shots this turn. So again, I think she might have been anticipating Red Squadron to chase down Finn and try and go for the kill.
Next up is
Yeah, I think he's, and that's the problem with the hard 3 by the. I mean, I think you needed to do it, but it does mean that you're a little bit more forward than what you wanted to be. And yeah, now he's managed to escape both arcs. Not sure I like that move. It puts you a little bit too close to the rock, but it does block Jess and gives Jess one more ship in arc. Oh, and maybe the boost would have mattered. Merle could have had a bit of helped out a bit there. Never mind. One reroll. Doesn't need it. Rose has been rolling hot today. On defense. Hit crit goes through onto Red. So Red is Zeta Squadron pilot. He already had one shield down from going over the rock. Takes a hit, and the crit is a fuel leak. We've seen a lot of fuel leaks this game.
And that's not gonna matter anymore because he's down to 1 health. Oh, wait. Shot. No. Oh, man. I thought that was close. For the FO.
But feels bad man moment. So Merle gets a shot. Range 2, wouldn't you know it? 2 attack dice, 2 hits, wouldn't you know it? Range 2, wouldn't you know it? On defense, needs to spend the token. But it's okay. It survives. Lives to fight another day. Yep. And so again, in this, more points still going the way of Luke. So Luke looking to try and wrap this up, I think, and it could be a very, very big win. Brown is currently on full health, so it'll be a little difficult to take out. But if you can just get those guns pointing back onto Zeta Squadron pilot, it's going to make his life very, very bad.
I'm trying to see if the K-turn will fit for that Red Squadron, but it looks like not. Do they have sloops?
Let me see. I don't play a lot of FO. They do have a 2 sloop and a 4 K-turn, so I think 4 K-turn definitely won't fit. But a 2 sloop to the left is probably okay. I wouldn't risk it to the right. It's a very big rock.
Suffice to say, I think it's take a miracle. Well, not totally a miracle, but a very steep hill to climb for Crazy Vulcan to win this.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Especially with you've got one ship on 1 health, and you've got only one single TIE fighter left. Unless this is the TIE fighter flown by a very young Sun Tefel, I think he's not got much to go from. And again, excellent move there from Merle to block that 2 sloop. We were just talking about that, and that's going to block a 2 sloop. That would also block a hard turn to re-engage with Brown. Finn is going to K-turn. Safe for him to do so this turn. Everything's pointing the wrong direction. Yep, and we did see the 2 sloop there, and that has been blocked. So very good moves. And he's blocked both. Yep, excellent move by Merle. Merle really wants to be in this position. I just don't know if... Okay, Rose might be able to capitalize on it. I don't know if anyone else can. But yeah...
the Red Squadron took the turret with him.
Yeah, very, very nice from Rose there. That Zeta Squadron will only be rolling 1 defense dice. -1 for intimidation, -1 because Merle is in your bullseye. Okay. Red Squadron goes over the toothpick, but you wouldn't mind too much. Wouldn't mind that too much. No damage.
No consequence.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, you really don't mind. You want the shot this turn. Very happy to take the shot. Merle, range 3. On a TIFO that will only be rolling 2 defense dice. So Merle has no 1 ship in range 1. Oh, why did she reroll 2? Does it count herself, is it? Or?
No, she had the target lock from the
Ah,
previous
of course.
turn.
Sorry. Okay, hit, crit, and that is goodbye, red.
I think the question right now is, will survive to live another turn?
Yeah, it looks that way a little bit. Okay, red squadron pilot can now start the process of shooting at Brown. Brown's still on full health at the moment. This will be range 3, so he will get 2 defense dice. No mods, so just the 1 hit. Now, really, yep, only 2 because -1. It's in bullseye. It's okay. I think they may have misread that card. It's why. Sorry, did you catch that, Raymond? Why was there a reroll there?
It's for the droid, man. R6 droid allows rerolls is like a predator. It counts for all friendly ships that have bullseye. That's why I checked Merle's bullseye.
Yeah.
If Merle had bullseye, the droid works for reroll.
Disgusting. Thank you, Nobby.
No worries.
Absolutely disgusting. Hit, crit, and that's game. Game, set, and match.
Wow. They got both ties that turn.
Yeah.
I'll pull the guys in. I'll pull the players in.
Thanks, Nobby.
Welcome back, guys.
Good evening.
Hello.
But see, here's the thing. It's like, no matter how bad the dice are, you just have to have fun, right? So it's just a matter of, just taking the beating with a smile.
Yeah, you did have a bit of
So-
bad luck there, Crazy Vulcan.
What that like round where I had like all those range 1 shots and I started doing damage on Finn, and then I had that range 1 shot on Rose and I had the shot on the red. I was like, okay, this might just be like the Falcons game where I come back in the second half. But no, it wasn't to be.
No. Sorry, Raymond, you were saying.
Is he in the room?
To ask Crazy Vulcan what was going through his head.
I'm trying to think of a happy song. Just like, okay, well, obviously, at this point, the dice are going to be against me, so I just have to not be shot. So I have to work on getting arcs out, or getting out of arcs. So I was focusing more on like by flying, because that's the only thing I have control over at that point. And like I did the three hard over the rock there, and I knew that was probably a 50-50 chance of losing my shield. It got away with that fine, because can't roll attack if you can't, big brain move. You can't roll attack if you can't roll against yourself. And they got the range 1 shots, and that round would have been the make or break, or at least for a break even. But I just couldn't seal it after that, and then the red landing on the asteroid, the deadly mustache, as you call it. Just that was unfortunate. I had the 2 straight dialed in, but it's like, no, he's not going to get a shot. And then I was like, well, I'd rather just try to get the shot. So I did the 2 bank. That was, when bad decisions are compounded by bad dice, it just doesn't go well. So, yeah, that was a fun game.
I think at that point you were also chasing the game a lot. I think you were down to 2 or 3 ships, and you needed to take a couple of risks to, okay, maybe I'm 90% sure I'm going to end up on a rock, but I have to do it anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the 3 bank would have at least cleared the rock, but at range 0 of Mel with a bullseye, or of range 0 Finn with with no shot on anybody anyway. But it was a 50-50, and I would have had no shot. No one had shot on me that round anyway. It just I didn't get the opportunity to shoot, which is the shame.
Look, congratulations. Very well done. Your list looks quite formidable. Very good efficiency. I saw even K-turning, your Red Squadron expert, was able to do rerolls, which was quite incredible. And then Merle, of course, debuffing everybody. tell us about yours. Maybe go back to setup. What were you thinking? How did you want to set up this game? What was your game plan going into this?
Yes. So I guess first of all, I have to acknowledge, so I've pretty much shamelessly stolen this archetype from Brendan Morrissey, who did very well at the Coruscant over the weekend. But basically, in terms of setup, the idea was, very much to have that block so that I could have a lot of guns on something and hopefully delete some of the I2s with my I3s. And then just have Merle sort of be a bit of a rogue agent and just try and be inconvenient places. I think winning the initiative was a really big deal because it just meant I could keep having Finn be in the way, having good shots, not getting blocked. I think that was probably potentially even one of the more important lucky rolls of the game. I felt like by the end of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I was able to get a block on Finn with no mods, that would have just changed the game because he was able to put himself in the awkward positions and just well flying overall. So,
yeah, I think Finn is one of those ships that's surprisingly efficient in what he does. I've talked about this I think 2 times already, but I'm going to keep talking about it. We had a game of Aces High the other day, and we saw a 50-point Finn doing a ton of damage and surviving in situations when he really shouldn't have. I think I was commentating that with you, wasn't I, Crazy Vulcan?
Yes, we were.
Yeah, and we saw that Finn, and it just it was consistently pumping out a surprising amount of damage by taking that strain at low PS and then happily going about and getting 3 hits very consistently with his perceptive co-pilot, and not too worried about the return shot again because he had that focus on defense.
I will also want to point out, because I know Snobby went ahead and brought up the dice test, which is something I'm against personally doing because it just makes salty things saltier. It's like, because if my red score was 4, my dice score was -4, so the average is out to about 0, almost even. And just a thing to point out with dice stats, because most people are just really bad statistics, it's about tempo, right? Because every time my green dice underperformed, his red dice overperformed.
Yes.
And just a matter of that tempo shift and the opportunities that he got himself is really what won the game more than just the dice. Even though the dice were like against me in the beginning there, I never felt that game was out of my winning ability till about maybe like round 6 when I lost half my ships, especially like losing pink and blue there at initiative 3. And I never felt the game was out of my reach until about the halfway point, so about the 40-minute mark.
Yeah, I think with about 30 minutes left on the clock, Raymond and I were talking. We said, this is, if you're going to come back, this is where you really need to do it now. It was really getting beyond your control at that point. I also just echo, okay, math teacher here, so full disclaimer. But yeah, I want to echo what you said there about statistics. It's not about just the averages. It's about when the rolls occur and how the variance matches up. So if you're rolling hot on defense, but the other guy is rolling, you're only rolling that against the 1 or 2 hit shots, then it's going to inflate your defense dice statistics. You can still roll back, roll above average on defense, but if your bad rolls come at the wrong time, the variance is what kills you. The variance is what gets you.
Exactly.
So a very, very salient point there. Thank you for that, Crazy Vulcan.
You're welcome.
Maybe I just want to ask one last question. What was your game? I asked this to Luke just before. What was your game plan coming in? Because we were very interested in your setup. You broke your squad into pairs, and then you set them up in the bottom half of the screen, or left-hand side for you.
Right.
And nothing really tried to disengage or go up. You sort of set up this kill box between the 4 asteroids at the bottom. So what was your thinking? What was your game plan going in?
Basically, with this squadron, I realize I have another 2 rounds left ahead of me, but there is a strategy that I have where it's basically like I fly kind of like a decentralized. My goal is to get a convergence point somewhere in the middle of the board, where I don't have to fly in the block formation to get all the arcs on the same point. I could basically accomplish the same task by spreading out, making you guess where that convergence point is going to be, and then guessing where your ship is going to be at the best position and getting range control. Because you notice, I was really happy that first engagement because I had 4 arcs on Mel with the concussion missile, and he was the only one shooting back.
Yep.
and just it was a matter of a poor timing on dice where it was like I only blinked a shield, I think, or I don't even think I did damage that round.
You got half points
No,
on
you
that.
got half
I got
on
half
him.
on?
You probably got
Right.
about average, I think, on him on
Okay,
range 3.
But still, that
yeah.
was against A-Wing that was evading at range 3. That was probably to be expected. But that was my goal, is to kind of like isolate a single ship, and I know Mel was going to be a problem in the end game or mid game anyway if I didn't delete him. And so my goal was to kind of like converge. I knew he was going to come forward. I knew he was going to be a bit aggressive with Mel. So I kind of was wanting to converge on that central point with between the 4 rocks here. That's why I kind of said the 4 diamond positions. It's kind of like it creates good lanes for my ships to kind of fluidly move through, because I'm not worried about flying in formation. I'm worried about flying where I get actions.
Yeah.
My ship is all about efficiency, so I want those passive sensors. I want those focuses for the advanced optics, and to hopefully get shots on somebody. So I don't really so much care about the block. I more care about the target opportunities.
I think you were very unlucky there, because if I recall, your trailing TIE SF had
Just
about
out of range.
5,
Yeah.
5 millimeters away from Merle.
Yeah.
And
Oh well.
it spent the evade token. So
the other one that I really feel bad about, this is as far as dice rolls, is the shot I had on Jess with a concussion missile that whiffed. Because if I would have hit that, I would have exposed Red's face down card, which I just want to see what it was.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Was a loose stabilizer. That would have affected the game, because he was facing a rock at that point.
yeah, that's very true. And again, I think if I recall that one, it was you rolled
I rolled
blank
like
focus
a focus into, yeah,
and you rolled it into exactly the same.
that happens.
Exactly the same. Yeah. I mean, do you think there's something wrong with the gravity simulator and the dice, or?
No. We did because people were doing. I'll show this because it's you don't have the stream mod updated, but people were doing this, where if I just get like 4 dice, you set them all to crits, right? So it's site 8, and then you do flip, and then you tap R. It does this, but it's technically not a roll, but it registers in the dice chat as a roll. So we nixed that ability to do that. And if your opponent wasn't looking or paying attention, I was like, oh, look at the dice chat. It says I have 3 hits.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, but
I'm just
so we
coming
nixed
in.
that ability.
That's dodgy
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
So as you know, Dee asked me to help judge for worlds, and that came up, and I was like, oh, I need to fix that. Well, I got Flipster to fix it because he's the code master. So anyway,
that is now been fixed. Is that correct? Because
yes, it's fixed. It's fixed on the newest version of the mod. So that was released yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, this game state was saved from Tuesday. So okay, I'll go through and I'll resave the camera angles again. It's fine. I'll do that. But that's I've seen that happen.
If anybody has the balls to do that on stream, I'd be very disappointed and impressed at the same time. But
like, I mean, I've accidentally had that happen in a roll where I've gone, oh, that wasn't a weird roll. I'm just going to re-roll it.
Mhm.
Like, you see the dice behave funny. But now you've actually
F. Yeah, we moved the ability to hit F. Yeah,
inside the roll. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing.
It seems to be commented if anyone does that in play, what's the point of playing? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Well, the problem with the digital tabletop simulator is it's only as good as the honesty is between the community, right? So if we remove any chance of dishonesty of the community, like we did, we moved other things as well, like the ability to like mod dice while they're in the air. We did like if you still notice, like if they were flying and you try to like mod them, they don't actually interact. So or you try to roll them and then flip them or something, they do that.
Yeah.
So we removed the ability to do that. So
Awesome. No, that's good. You're keeping it up to date and keeping it how to say abusive free. So the only reason to clarify, the only reason it's working is because I'm saved from Tuesday's version, and it's now been fixed. It wouldn't work if I had updated my game state, because I have things preset out so we can get games started up fast. Okay, I'll update that. Yeah. Now just something now that we finish up, you and me, we've got a game on Saturday.
we do. How you feeling against my fleet?
Your Friday. Technically, it's your Friday night.
It's my Friday. Yeah, it's still it's fine. So how you feeling about our matchup now?
Well, after I saw how you roll dice, I'm a little bit less.
It doesn't always work that way, Nobby. Like I was telling Luke, like You can prepare for everything, but you cannot count on your opponent's dice.
No. Oh, trust me, I know. But you'll be happy to know that I'm not flying this. I do have Merle, but I don't have that hyperactive fin or anything like that.
I know.
And I do like Jess, but no. I've got a more of an AC list, so it's gonna be more fun. I think. Well, you're not gonna have a Jess for me, or maybe
Right.
you will. Maybe my mind games have already started.
You want to go good mind games against the Vulcan?
This is the wrong community. We don't serve your kind here.
IDIC, my friend. IDIC.
Yeah. So we'll stream our game. You and me, we're going to commentate. We're going to self-commentate the game. It should be fun. It should be fun. As long as you go in the mind. I loved it when I pulled you in and you're just saying you were just there to enjoy the game, even though things were going bad. And it's a good thing to remember that this is a game. If you let it get too salted to you, and I should listen to my own words back another time after I've been dice, but it is a game, guys. You've got to remember to have the mindset that you got to have fun.
Oh, Dobby, I have an excellent story for our stream for Thursday. So remind me to tell it about the Attack Wing community for viewers at home. It's just a completely different mindset over there, and it's the reason I left that community. So I'll tell that story later. Well, I have some tea. I have some tea to spill. So.
Because that was you're saying you actually developed this based off the attack wing, right? The original mod that you worked on.
No, other way around. Dreszy was working on the X-Wing mod about 1.0 when first came out. I started the attack wing mod about the same time he was working on that. I was actually the one that figured out how to get the ships to move on their own. Before then, you just had to actually grab the template, set it in front of the ship, pick up the ship, move the ship. That was a pain in the butt. So I was like, you know what? If I just simply took some commands, figured it out where it should land, I got it mostly working. It's this mod. That mod at this point is 4 or 5 years old now, so it's well outdated. People still play it, so I haven't taken it down or anything, but it's still it's primitive compared to this now.
I gotta say, I am really spoiled because when I go back and play X-Wing in real life now, and I set my dials, and I go flip the dials, and I'm like,
you have to pick up the ship. This isn't right. This is what primitiveness is this? What do you mean I don't have millimeters accurate precision with fan arcs that check everything at once? It's
yeah, that's one thing I'm not looking forward to. Going back and checking out. Where's your laser pointer? Have you got that long, thin laser? But that one curves a bit, and oh man, I can't quite fit the range ruler between these 3 ships that are all banged. So,
I will add.
We have to grab a third party. Go, okay, you better measure it because we don't want to be biased in our rule. You measure it, okay.
I will add probably the last thing I'll add before it's getting late, but I love how this mod has brought the community together internationally too. I think just before we had our own little islands around the world, and sure, we communicated with each other, we shared metas and compared ideas. But not till this whole thing, the community's been brought closer together, just across all kinds of borders, and that's something that makes me very happy to see that everyone's just rallied around this.
100%.
Well said. Well said.
Very well said. Okay, we're going to wind things up there. Once again, a big shout out to Crazy Vulcan for being on, and Luke, congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, I did send you, we'll talk about it on Saturday, but I did send you a picture and I wanted to break your head about the dice statistics because you raised it up there and I thought I'm going to have to talk to you about it, but we'll save that for Saturday. Raymond and Mark, thank you for commentating tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
Excellent. And until then, we'll catch you next time. We will be back on Saturday or Friday night, depending on which time zone you're in.
Yep.
All right, guys. Good night.
No, Nobby.